Hi, and welcome to another episode of PawTube, a pause and read initiative focused on canine health and well-being. And I'm delighted to welcome Hussain Darwish, the founder of HK9 Adventure, on today's PawTube. And we're going to be discussing a lot of experiences, tips, and to-dos when you are planning fun outdoor activities with your dogs, especially since the weather's turning. It's getting cooler, better months in the UAE. Hussein, a very warm welcome to PawTube. It's a pleasure to have you on this episode.
Good morning. Good morning to you, and good morning to all the PawTube listeners with us.
I mean, I have always adored the work that you do. And, the kind of culture change that you're trying to bring into this part of the world, I would say, not only in the UAE. So allow me to take that as the starting point. Why don't you share a little bit of background on HK9 Adventures and also your personal experience of setting it up and sort of trying to enable humans to go on adventures with their dogs?
Well, we need to go way back now, so I can recall, how we have started it and how we have, you know, adventured with our dogs. You're talking about more than 11 or more than 12 years ago. So before we were, of course, we're going hiking by ourselves and discovering and exploring by ourselves the wadis of UAE, wadis of Oman. So then, why us exploring over here and hiking and going around here? I thought my dogs would love this. All the different obstacles, all the different smells. So I took at that time I took Chaka with me. He was my first hiking dog. So I took him with me, and he adored it. He loved it. Um, the different smells, the obstacles, actually helping each other out as well. I pick him up onto the boulders. He dragged me through the water. It was lovely. And from that time, I did not like going for hikes without my dogs. Exploring and hiking the dog is a totally new and different level. And then you actually know the bond between you and your dog. It gets to extent where they actually know your body language, and they know your hand signals. You form that bond together more than your normal walks, more than anything you do with them.
And there's that
So
incredible trust and connection that you build with your dog.
exactly. So sometimes the dog or your dog won't go somewhere, but when your dog sees you going through obstacle or going through that place, they will follow you blindly. So
Mm,
this is the trust your dog has in you.
yeah.
So we need to trust them the same way as well. So the trust that the dog has for you when you go first, and then okay, I'm safe because he went there.
Yeah.
You can imagine the trust they have in you. Uh,
Absolutely. A whole change in culture. And why I say that is because you have also introduced Canicross to the
that's
region.
right.
Would you like to talk a little bit about it?
Yes, of course. If well, back then when we were exploring and hiking and stuff like that, people were asking us, where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go? And some places were not really safe to give to people for them to go and explore with the dogs. So then
Okay.
we decided to do our first event, which was the Human Canine Ultimate Challenge.
Mm.
So we were, we capped the numbers because of our marshals, of our manpower, of our safety, our procedures. We capped the numbers, and then it kept on increasing since then, because people saw what we saw as well, working with our dogs, and then from the challenge. Um, of course, the corona hit, the pandemic hit. So people were still wanted to go, to go out, to explore more places, to hike, to enjoy the outdoors, because we have, a couple of months of outdoor season only.
Mhm.
Then came the concept of the HK9 Adventures. So it's not a challenge; it's just adventures where we take people to different locations with their dogs to hike, and usually sometimes it's trails, but usually they're not trails. So people feel the adventure that they're going on, and then people liked it as well more because they're going to different locations every time. And then from there we got the Candy Cross. So I've been thinking about the Candy Cross for quite a while. But then last year we said, okay, let's plug it in and let's try to let's do it. And then we were surprised with different type of people, athletes, dog lovers that participated. We had around 120 participants at the race, which was amazing to see. We were so happy to see people running and competing with the dog, and we're more happy as well, especially with those adventures with the Candy Cross, is people starting to work out with their dogs beforehand. So this is the culture we want to build in the community as well. So it's you need to work with your dog, you need to get ready for those things with your dog, which even increases the bond between you and
You've spoken about how to prepare, because that's very important. Preparing for the transition from summer to winter, preparing well for these outdoor adventures. Would you like to share some tips around how how humans can prepare themselves and their dogs to sort of go out and have fun?
Of course, we will start with the dogs first, of course,
Sure.
because um, I think when you get your dog ready, you're actually getting yourself
Yeah.
ready as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, after long summer, dogs don't go out for walks a lot. They're mainly indoors, so their paws, get soft. They get used to the AC, and the carpets, and the, the indoors. So the first thing is to get your dog's paws ready for the outdoors. You cannot take your dog 5K or 6K or 7K and push your dog straight away.
Yeah.
You have to take them gradually. Start going for regular walks, of course, in the right times, early mornings, late evenings. Go for 1K, then to 2Ks, and then to 3Ks, and build it up slowly. So your dog's paws they start roughening up and start getting ready for actually the different terrains. So imagine you take your dog from being an indoor dog, from being a potato couch, all the way to the outdoors and the mountains and different terrains. They're going to ruin their paws, and then it's going to take a week or two to heal, and then to get back from to square one again. So while you're preparing your pose, you're actually getting your fitness up as well. You're getting your dog's fitness up. You're getting your fitness up by just going for gradual walks uh, every day, or every other day, or maybe twice a day, depending on you and depending on your dog. Boots are a good idea to take to the hikes, of course, um, but it's much better to get your dog's paws ready and basically make it natural.
Exactly.
You know, make it hard and natural for them. And you can take your boots with you, of course, when you go on hikes. Because sometimes terrains are spiky.
Mhm. Mhm.
Go to different terrains. At least you have your boots with you, where you can put on your dog if you think that the terrain requires to wear the boots. And
Yeah,
then, yeah, and
please
then
go
of
ahead.
course, same time you are getting yourself ready as well. So if you want to
Absolutely.
get your dog ready, then you're getting ready together. And of course, later you can, if you want to do the race, you can cross, of course, then you can mix it up with walk and jog, walk and run. Many athletes will will know better as well on how to run and how to prepare for marathons or canicrosses like that.
Sure, sure. Are there any must-have items that humans should always carry when they're out for such adventures? Also, along with getting your dog's paws gradually, hardening the paws and getting the paws used to the terrain, the rough terrain, are there certain commands that you should, try to teach your dogs that they should understand?
Definitely, definitely. So when we go on our hikes, there are some places where you need to have your dogs on leash,
Okay,
and there are some places where your dogs can go off leash.
okay,
So when your dogs are off leash, your dogs need to have recall.
okay.
So recall is a very, very important command. Recall, come, heel, or walk beside me. So there's some commands which are very important when you're out there. My dogs, for example, I taught Violet how to stop straight away or to wait. So even when we're hiking, we're walking, when she's off leash, sometimes she's in the front. So wait, it means, okay, just stop there, wait for me till I get there. Because I do not know, well, this is for us, other than when we take people out, of course, this doesn't happen. But for us, when we tell the dog to stop or to wait for us, it means we do not know what's coming up or what's beyond that ridge, because we're out exploring, we're out, doing recce's. So our dogs need to know those commands. But for people, they need to have recall, because when they're out there and you see, a herd of goats or wildlife or something, recall is important to call your dog in and to put them on leash again.
And obviously it depends, the training and how soon the dog will learn depends and varies from one dog to another. But if humans are actually planning to go on such adventures, how many months ahead would you advise them to start training their dogs?
Look, it depends on the dog and the person as well. How far off are they in training, and how much more they need to do, and depends who are they training with and who is training them as well. Some dogs can take up to 3 weeks and then they can be good. Some dogs can take up to 2 months, depending on the training.
Mhm. At this point, I'm also very curious to understand, is it at all possible to take a reactive dog, or let's say a dog with a special medical condition on such adventures?
Uh, for reactive dogs, we get many dogs which basically are, when we start the briefing time, they are all over the place. But
Okay,
when they start walking, when we start hiking with all the smells and the dog moving, it starts calming down.
okay.
So he or she start calming down because, he or she get tired, the many
Mm.
smells. Sometimes if the man and dog would like to keep a distance between them and other dogs, they can keep a distance, of course. But when they go back to the car, they're really relaxed and happy.
My final question to you, Hussein, uh, would you be able to share three tips that humans should bear in mind to ensure safety for themselves and their dogs when out for such adventures?
Um, First, we need to make sure not to always go alone, because, of course, we have started this hiking culture over here, and people start to go. Of course, not everyone, to explore and hike by themselves with no experience. They don't know what they're doing. They put themselves in danger. They put their dogs in danger, and then of course they have to call the police or the rescue police to come and help them out. So let us not do this, and let us be responsible. This is the main thing I want to tell everyone. It's not a joke. Of course, there are many other people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There are too many who just take a small bottle of water with them, take their dogs, and they just go to hike of the beaten tracks. And it's not fair on the dog, it's not fair on them, and it's not fair on the police, and it's not fair on the rescue as well. I think many of us heard all the rescues that have been happening lately because
Yes.
of those incidents.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, the police and the rescue are not sitting there just waiting for a call for a taxi ride to come and pick them up and take them to safety. And other things, of course, you need to respect nature. Okay, it is outdoors. It is wild. There are wildlife over there. There are snakes. There are scorpions. They're different. There are farmers. There are farms. So we need to always respect our surroundings. We need to respect the wildlife. We need to respect the nature. We need to respect the locals and their herds as well. So those are important tips that I can give to everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you once again for joining me, Hussain. It's been a real pleasure having you on PawTube.